You know the exact person I'm talking about. When the server crashes, when the car battery dies in the rain, or when a family member goes into a complete emotional spiral. They don't panic. They don't immediately grab their phone with shaking hands trying to find someone else to solve it. They just go quiet for a second. They assess the damage, and then they start fixing it. Most people look at someone like this and think it's a superpower. They think this person was just born calm under pressure. But for a lot of Generation X, this wasn't a personality trait. It was survival training. Psychologists call this self-efficacy, the belief that you are capable of handling the disaster directly in front of you. But that belief usually doesn't appear out of nowhere. It gets built through repeated moments where failure simply was not an option. If you were a Latchkey kid in the 70s or 80s and your bike chain snapped 3 miles from home, you couldn't pull out a cell phone and call your parents. They were at work. You were on your own. So you flipped the bike upside down, got grease all over your hands, and figured it out. And every time you did that, your nervous system learned something important. Standing there helpless was not going to save you. You learned the world would not stop for your panic. So you adapted. You became resourceful, observant, hyper-competent. You became the person who handles things. But here's the part nobody talks about. That competence comes with a cost. Generation X quietly became the designated fixer for almost everyone around them. They are the structural, load-bearing pillar holding modern family life together. They fix the Wi-Fi, the paperwork, the logistics, the emergencies, the medical appointments for aging parents. And at the exact same time, they're expected to absorb the anxiety, instability, and emotional fallout of their children too. They fix everything for everyone. But who fixes things for them? If you talk to enough people from this generation, you start hearing the same exhausted sentence over and over again. If I don't do it, it won't get done. And after enough years, that mindset stops feeling like responsibility and starts feeling like wiring. For a lot of Gen X, delegating doesn't feel relaxing. It feels dangerous. Because when your nervous system was shaped in environments where help was inconsistent, trusting someone else to handle a crisis can feel physically uncomfortable. An unresolved problem in the room starts to feel like an unresolved problem inside your own body. Society praises people like this constantly. We call them dependable, reliable, the strong ones. But sometimes calling someone strong is just a socially acceptable way of admitting we plan to keep leaning on them. And the truth is, most Gen X fixers never learned how to rest while something was falling apart nearby. Their brain is always running background simulations, worst-case scenarios, backup plans, exit routes. Because underneath all that competence is usually one deeply rooted belief. If I don't handle this, nobody will. And maybe that belief helped them survive. Maybe it even made them exceptional. But survival adaptations are heavy things to carry for 40 years. So if you're the person who always steps in, the one who stays calm while everybody else spirals, the one quietly absorbing the shockwaves of everyone else's chaos, I want you to hear this clearly. Your competence is incredible, but your value as a human being is not measured only by how useful you are to other people. You are allowed to let a plate drop. You are allowed to let somebody else struggle long enough to learn. You do not have to be the mechanic for the entire world. Sometimes it is okay to let the engine stall. And if you became the designated fixer in your family growing up, when did you realize nobody else was coming to handle the crisis? Let me know in the comments. And if this hit home, subscribe.